We're at wonderful Melrose Abbey today. It's a gorgeous sunny afternoon, so we're going to have just a little wander around the building, the grounds, and show you what it's like. So the building at the moment is under repair, stabilisation, that sort of thing, so we can't get inside it. It's all closed off inside, sadly. But we can have a look at the outside, have a look at the grounds. So Melrose Abbey is an ancient 12th century ecclesiastical building in South Scotland. It's where monks used to live for a few hundred years until the place was sacked by various people, including Henry VIII. During the Wars of the Three Kingdoms. So it's a place of great importance to southern Scotland. It was founded by, I want to say, no, it couldn't be in Alexander because he's buried here. Founded by David I. I should have looked up the history a little bit more before I came in to remind myself. And it was part of, I think it was King David, his attempts to Europeanise southern Scotland and make it a little bit more cultural and a little bit more civilised by bringing over monks from France and Italy. Don't know the history, honestly, off by heart, not that good. So it was built in about, I want to say 1180, that sort of time. By now, was it Cistercian monks or was it Premonstratensian monks, or was it the other one? One of them. So they were invited over. Hello, Doe, by the way. They were invited over by the king, and they founded, or different groups founded, Melrose and Jedburgh and Kelso and Dryborough and Selkirk, which no longer exists. Selkirk Abbey, that is, the towns do. The majestic sound, it's actually the branches being taken down from the trees. They're overhang the road a little bit, so they're being taken down. Now, I notice new addition to the visitor attractions. I noticed something new I've not seen here before. Something new in this ancient place. Well, I've kind of seen this before, but look, we have a pig, a bagpipe playing pig. You can see it there. Hello down the line. No. So this is a 3D model, 3D printed pig, which is around the other side of the abbey, high up. You've got the original of this pig. It says take your picture, so I suppose we could do. The bench is a little bit wet. Maybe I shan't. I'll perch, perhaps, like that. You can screenshot that. I should put my arm around it, shouldn't I? Like that. Screenshot of me and the pig playing the bagpipes. Yeah, so that's one of the many carvings on the other side of the abbey. We'll go around. I'll have a look. I wonder what the monks would make of the power tools. Well, yes, they would find things an awful lot easier. That's for sure. So this side of the abbey, there's not much in the way of carvings. There's one or two niches up there, high up. New friends, yes, big. There's a couple of niches right the way up there where you would find statues. I can see one fancy bit of carving there. Anti-home was mentioned, like a pig there, yeah. We'll go around this way. Now that bit's blocked off there. Yes, please speak to a member of staff if you want to get through. Okay, so let's go this way. Careful here, we're quite wet underfoot. Let's walk up this way. I think I can hear squirrels in the trees over there. What's happening? Yeah, so we'll show you a little bit about what's happening. We regret that access to this site is restricted. Our staff are working to investigate the condition of high-level stonework and actively manage any risk of falling material. So that's why it's all currently blocked off. Darth Vader gargoyle. Interesting. So this marks the spot where Robert the Bruce, his heart is buried. Under here, supposedly. A noble heart may have nae knees of freedom fairly. Yeah, so a noble heart is never at ease, is never resting. Was that blocked off as well, that entranceway? Yes, it is, okay. You can see inside a little bit there. So I was hoping to get around the building. Without falling over, there we go. That looks pretty, doesn't it, with the sunlight coming through? Beautiful colours. It'd be empty now. No, never. Isn't that gorgeous? Legend or fact? Bit of both, mostly fact. Now, if we can see, yes, we can see there, I think that is a carving of, I want to say either St. Peter or St. Paul. Science. And there's another one through that window. Can we see him there? Yeah, just about. Just there. Impressive. They're very different saints. Peter and Paul. There's also... can you read this? Yes, this is the Duke of Buccleuch, the 10th Duke of Queensberry, who died in 1973, I think. And the next, his wife rather, Mary Duchess of Buccleuch and Queensberry, 1900 to 1993. So pretty new graves. To the memory of the most high, potent and noble prince, his grace Sir Walter John Montague Douglas Scott, Duke of Buccleuch and Duke of Queensberry, Marquess of Dumfriesshire, Earl of Doncaster, Dalkeith, Drumlanrig and Sanquhar, Viscount of Neath, Torthwold and Ross, Lord Scott of Buccleuch, Winchester and Eskdale, Lord Douglas of Kinmont, Middleby and Dornoch, Baron Scott of Tyndale, Knight of the Thistle, Member of the Privy Council, Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order, Lord Lieutenant of Roxburghshire, Lord Steward of the Household, Lord Clerk Register of Scotland and Keeper of the Signet, Captain General of the Queen's Bodyguard, Royal Company of Archers, and Gold Stick for Scotland. What a title. No, I've given them one. Not much, I suppose. Alright, let's see if I can scamper down the hill again without sliding over. Just about. Down with titles. Well, that was a guy who definitely liked a title. And now his son does. So these buildings here, these would have been where the monks lived and went about their business. You'd have places for them to sleep over that way, and you'd have kitchens and workshops and all the stuff that a small community needs. This tells us a wee bit about it. So yeah, so here is the abbey, like that, there. You can see the gallery over that way. I should be going, well, halfway there. And yes, there's all sorts of parlours, warming rooms, latrines, wash places, cloisters, the commendator's house, which is number 12, is there, over the wall. So we are in among all of the ancillary buildings at the moment. Now there is a talk, apparently, today about Robert the Bruce in the museum, but not sure if I want to go. Takes a little while, might be nobody else there. Site of the lavatorium or wash place for use before entering the adjacent dining hall. Not sure exactly how the lavatorium would work. That's where it was. Site of the kitchens. So I'm looking for some fireplace, which I can't quite figure out. I might learn something that's true. Well, I don't know. A life of devotion. So this would be inside the abbey. A day in the life of a monk. 2 o'clock nocturnes. The day's first prayers at 2 a.m. Stay awake to read privately or privately contemplate God. 4 a.m. matins. Prayers, change and wash. 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. mass. 11:30 sex prayers. A frugal lunch. Vespers. Collatio, whatever that is. And bed at 8:15 and up at 2. On your hairstyle. Look at that facial hair. Now, let's walk over that way. I think it should be easy enough. Yes. Sexting 11:30. It's a nice bridge, isn't it? Now, there's more people buried over here. But if you go into the abbey, if you could get into the abbey, you'd find the very high status graves along at the other end. You've got kings and princes and dukes, old dukes along there. And that way, so we can just about see some of the more intricate carvings up there, and you can get, when the place is open, you can actually get up to the roof. You can climb up that way and get up to the roof and you get a very nice view. I'd like to be buried or cremation. Is that some kind of a threat? I think probably cremation, to be honest. I don't think there's any need to keep my body hanging around unnecessarily. Let's see how far we're going to walk around this way. I think we can get all the way around. The foundations of an intended but uncompleted west front of the late 15th century. Yeah, still building in the 15th century. You see, a workman doing work. So you can see, now, let's think, is that the little platform where you can get up there? I think it is. I think that's it. Caution, slippery surface, it says. Nice, that's beautiful light. Beautiful light. We'll look at the skull there on that grave. Very nice. Right, so the real bagpipe playing pig is, let's see if I can find it. Well, there's more statues. Although why would jump in an effort to not fall down, to not slip. Let's see if I can find the pig. It'll be up there somewhere. It's rather beautiful though, isn't it? Get closer. See some of the statues. So again, can you see the niches there where you've got missing statues? So when, I'm speculating here, but I reckon when Henry VIII came along and wanted to destroy the Catholic Church, he would go to places like this and he would be an iconoclast. Literally, he would tear down the icons, take down all the Catholic imagery, the symbols, so that he could, well, firstly destroy it and then secondly replace it with his own church, which didn't really work here in Scotland, because of course we got the Church of Scotland as well as a Catholic church too. So bad luck, Henry. Let's get closer to the doorway and have a look. I should say one of these graves over that way is Sir David Brewster. That one over there, Sir David Brewster, behind the flat one. He was a very influential scientist in the 19th century who lived just over the other side of the river. So I was going to show you some of the icons there. You can see they've been beheaded. Hello, Trissa. So the little statues above the doorway, they've all been decapitated, symbolically to desecrate and to make less sacred and humiliate. That lovely grave there. Again, that one, the skull has been damaged there. Why don't they replace them? Well, yeah. Should you replace things like that? I don't know. Look at that beautiful thin tracery. It's called tracery on the windows. So you'd have stained glass in here and carved stone tracery between the windows, and it's so impressive, so thin and delicate. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, more niches for statues there, saints, beautiful carvings. So sometimes they replace some of the carvings. You get modern masons who are asked to replace things. Quite gorgeous. It would cost a lot to do that. And, well, there's the argument, should you do that or should you not? You know, should you leave things as they are? Or should you try to put things back but maybe fail? So that looks like a gargoyle, or a couple of gargoyles, but they're probably not technically gargoyles. They're just grotesques. And I've got them to carve a humiliating figure of Henry. So kind of, perhaps. So the grotesques up there, they'll all have subtle meanings. They may well be people. It's possible that an abbot will come along and he will want to carve a grotesque in the face of the previous abbot as a kind of a joke sort of thing. Yes, but grotesque, different to a gargoyle, because a gargoyle is a water spout. So you get water being collected in a gutter, being piped down to the gargoyle, who would spit it out. So godly, I know. So yeah, a gargoyle is a water spout, whereas a grotesque is just a carved figure, similar to what we think of as a gargoyle. It is gorgeous light though, isn't it? Same rat's nest here. Ah, right, yes. So informational, I know. I see you've changed your picture there, Trissa. So, now, so is that... I don't think it is, actually, because I think the pigs are on the other side. That's something, isn't it? That's something. Up there, and you can see that catching the light beautifully. Gorgeous. And all these graves, they go back, well, some of them go back 800 years, that sort of time. Most of them would be 1700s, 1800s. Ward off evil spirits, yes, it definitely works. Look at how intricate and delicate and complicated it all is. You can see there, that's a flying buttress, I believe. Look there, the carving, really delicate carving on these pieces. Beautiful. Yeah, look at that light. Might have to take some screenshots so I can draw them. Gonna get a look at the cobwebs on the scaffolding. Superb. And again, more delicate tracery. So let's have a look at some of the graves, shall we? Let's have a little read of some of them. So usually, the closer to the church, the more high status the person. Let's see, can we read this one? Here lieth the dust of James something portioner and Mason in Newstead. So Newstead is a village just up. You're off, are you, Teresa? Okay. Newstead is a village just up the road. Who died? That's May 13th, 1764, aged 80 years. Also Jean Wilson, his spouse, who died 1750, aged 50 years. Also 9 children. Bunny, his name Andrew Bunny, portioner of Newstead. So a portioner is a kind of a farmer who would farm a portion of land. Who died 1836, aged 72. Margaret Williamson, who died May 1842, is that? Aged 80 years, that would be about right, I think. Also, can't read that. Something Bunny, his sister. Yeah, lots of people, all buried in the same grave. Bring back this architecture, this kind of architecture, this Gothic. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Would you like a house built in this style? Of course you would. What am I saying? You'd be delighted by it. I don't think we can read that one. Look at that light, isn't it gorgeous? Do we need me in this light? Of course we do. We can't do a smile redemption, but there we are. There's a nice screenshot, perhaps. It is beautiful light, mind. What's this one? Margaret Maria Trotter, is that? Died 1837. Hannah Trotter died 1836. Mary Ann Lawson, something of William Patterson, I reckon. William Tate, Lieutenant, RM, that'll be Royal Marines. Ob, that means died, October 19th, 1836. Thomas Trotter, Staff Surgeon in the Madras Army. Born, and so Nat means born. Nat 1781 died, can't see. Captain John something, Trotter. Rangoon, I see. Robert Trotter, Captain. Well, yeah, lots of army people, surgeons, and yeah. It's quite an impressive one. Alexander Harkin, youngest son and last of his family, born at Bridgend, Melrose. So that's just this side of the river. Died at St. Peter's, Minnesota, USA, 1907. This says, and their children David, 1836, Henry, 1852, Mary, Michael, John and Matthew, very biblical, all died in infancy. Catherine died 1895. Barney died in the USA 1897, aged 78. So this will just be probably in memory of rather than where those American ones are buried. Fascinating. That's a nice one. Nice round one. Betsy, their daughter, wife of James Dunlop, died at Meadow House, St. Boswell's. Adam, their son, born 1825, died at Melbourne, Victoria. Mary Smith, Agnes Smith, further daughter, died at the now Melrose. Yeah. It's a fascinating place. Hello, Richard. Suddenly all is well. All is well now that you're here. Yes. It's a beautiful place though. So this abbey is in the care of Historic Scotland, which is the semi-governmental organisation which looks after many ancient scheduled monuments in ancient places, castles and abbeys and very, very old places. You've got to be a member to get in here, or you've got to pay a small fee, which is something like, I don't know, £7, £5, something like that, to get in. Or if you're a member, I've just renewed my membership, £55 for the year, so I can get in for free. And that lets you get into all the different Historic Scotland castles and abbeys and so on for a year. Which is worth it, I reckon, if you're doing that. Not in use. So it was in use until a new church is built. St. Mary's Church is the replacement for the church which was in use within the abbey up to the 19th century, I believe it was. So it was in use as a church even when it was in this ruined state until they decided to build a new church. So this abbey, Melrose Abbey, was dedicated to St. Mary. So the new church, when it was built, was also dedicated to St. Mary. And there's a school, a private fee-paying school, also called St. Mary's, which would have been, I guess, semi-attached to the church. Agnes Lee's wife of Peter Maxwell Darnick died 1810. Peter Maxwell, Jane Maxwell, Elizabeth Maxwell, Alexander Maxwell died at London. Peter Maxwell died at Darnick. Agnes, Matthew, Christina. Lots of Maxwells, which is a very popular local name across the south of Scotland. Look at this. This has got a violin and what's that, clarinet? Do you reckon? That's pretty good, isn't it? So is that, presumably, that's the person who is buried here with what you like doing. I like the idea of graves having a little bit of information about the personality of the person who's buried there, rather than just what their name was and their date of birth and date of death. It's nice to know a little bit more about them. What job did they do? What were they interested in? I quite like that. So QR code graves, yeah. Or sometimes, I mean, you've got the carved portrait there. I see modern gravestones with photos on them actually in the gravestones, and I quite like that idea. I think that people would have been doing that if the technology had existed, because people have been sculpting famous scientists and mathematicians and philosophers and religious people for thousands of years. So I think that people would be putting photos on graves all that time if they could have done so. I think why not do that? I don't think it's disrespectful at all. I think it's quite a good idea. Many expats buried memorialised here. Hardly poor families driven from land. Well, some of them would be rich. I mean, just over that way, you've got Harmony House, and Harmony House was owned by a plantation owner and slave owner in Jamaica. He made his money and came back to Melrose and built his house, and he's buried somewhere in this graveyard, I believe. So yeah, you'd certainly get rich people buried here, but of course most of the people of Melrose and the surrounding area wouldn't be buried here. They'd just be buried in unmarked graves and forgotten about forever. So yeah, you'd definitely get people driven from the land, as well as the people doing the driving. But yeah, I like that idea, I like that. So I'm not sure where that guy is buried in this graveyard, but I believe he is. I forget his name, probably wouldn't mention it either. Anyway, if I could remember it. Let's go and see Sir David Brewster, shall we? Because I like him. I've got all those workmen hanging around, taking photographs and examining. But yeah, that's David Brewster's grave. They're using it as a desk at the moment, I reckon. The grass is a little bit wet here, actually. Can we read this? Gill something, also Andrew Gill, who died September 1759, aged, is that 19 years? Moss conquers all, yes, that's true. Everything gets returned to nature. Decay eventually. Andrew Milne, son of Robert Milne Langlands, born 1821, died 1827. Also, the said Robert Milne, farmer at Threepwood. Threepwood again is just a few miles away. Born 1770, died 1840, I think. Also, Catherine Hunter, his wife, died can't read, April 1858. Also Anne Milne or Miller. Yeah, so as I say, most of these graves are 1700s, 1800s, but the really small ones, they could go back to the 1400s and older. Some of these ones. Time of the plague. It is beautiful light today though, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. So I think shall we wander around to the other side again? I think we might as well look at the clouds. I could hear, there it is. I can now see a light aircraft. Oh, it's turning. Where is it? There. It's interesting. That is a very unusual shape. Yeah, interesting. I wonder what it is. Somebody could go on to flight radar or something. So they're cutting down trees at the moment, or cutting down branches, I should say. Hence the equipment. Careful. Yeah, so hopefully within the next couple of years they'll take down all the scaffolding and get it all open to the public again. Hopefully. There you go, there's the Abbey Church. Does it say about when it was ended? No, it doesn't. Okay. But what a beautiful place, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm sure you'll agree. Let's leap. We shall leap over, build up a wee bit of momentum. And go see the pig again. And we'll end on the pig, shall we? It's one of my favourite things. Are the noises necessary when leaping? Yes, yes. What prompted its abandonment? Well, the English. Just saying, Richard. They came along and started destroying our heritage, tearing down our important buildings, desecrating and pillaging, trying to ruin Scotland as much as they possibly could, attempting to impose their will on us without our consent, coming along generally killing and wrecking, and yeah, that's what prompted the abandonment, when they decided to destroy our beautiful heritage. Yeah, since you ask. Cute though, isn't it? Cute. You can see its eyes. And its bagpipes. So that, the real one is turned that way, so it'd be sort of lying down, if you see what I mean. That's what it is on the other side of the abbey. So that bit would be attached to the wall there. Fascinating. So I think we'll end there. So I shall be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow as usual, Friday afternoon in the Cloud House. I'll be having lunch and chatting as usual in the Cloud House. So make sure you're following me and make sure you join me for that. I do that every Friday, and I do other things from time to time as well. And I like showing you beautiful places, beautiful views, like that. When I get around to it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for asking pertinent questions. Always nice to have that. And I would encourage you to go and visit some interesting local historic place if you can. Thanks for watching. Cheery bye, everyone. Have a nice Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.